Welcome everyone to the comic panel. I'm Cody.
I'm Talon.
And for those of you who are listening for the first time, we are a bi-weekly radio show podcast comic book club covering any and everything regarding comics and manga. We have each co-host pick a book that follows a specific theme and review a book for every episode. Then we wrap up the theme with a retrospective episode covering our opinions and favorite moments from each of the books. We're continuing our theme of Superman, the original superhero who fights for truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. In our third book, we're reviewing Superman and the Authority. The writer of this book is none other than Grant Morrison, along with a few other artists, but mostly Mikel Janin, but along with some page assists from Travel Forman, Cagle, and Fico Ossio. This limited series ran for 4 issues in 2021 and ended with a one-shot in 2022. So before we get into our review, we're going to give a summary of what happens in that miniseries. Superman and the Authority features an older Superman whose powers are starting to fade. Decades ago, he was asked by President Kennedy to protect the Earth if he should ever die. Kennedy, of course, gets assassinated in Dallas, Texas, and Superman became Earth's greatest protector. Now the world is being thrown into chaos and Superman's powers are waning. He realizes he must now rely on a new generation of protectors, so he forms a team of heroes and ex-criminals to begin picking up the slack. They are called the Authority. And to be fully clear before we get into any more of this, the Authority is meant to be continuing on also from the Wildstorm publication, The Authority, which was originally created by Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch in 1999.
Interesting. Okay. Mm-hmm. I like at least Brian Hitch.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yes. Yeah. Agreed. So, Talon, why did you choose this book?
I think I just saw it on Hoopla at some point, and I was like, oh, that seems like an interesting cover. So, saved it. And then when this theme came around, I was like, oh, this is a good opportunity to read it.
Yeah, let's get into, I guess, my expectations going into this book. Basically, and if you had any also, but for me, I don't know, I generally like Grant Morrison's writing. I would say that I'm mostly a fan of their 80s and 90s Vertigo work more so than the stuff that they've produced through the 2000s. Yeah, like I'm thinking of Animal Man, Doom Patrol, even Batman, Arkham Asylum, Serious House on Serious Earth. All of those great reads, but didn't particularly like We 3. Didn't really like...
Oh, did he do We 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't really like Wonder Woman Earth 1. I should go back and check out some of their multiverse stuff, DC Multiversity and 52. Mm-hmm. I've heard that those are good, and that's more of the early 2000s. Mm-hmm. But yeah, definitely my expectations were kind of hit or miss with Morrison, even though I am a fan of a portion of the body of their work. I also, though, had knowledge that this included The Authority, and I didn't really know what to think of that either, because I was like, I don't really know much about The Authority. I know it's written by Warren Ellis, but I also knew that Grant Morrison had also written an arc, or not an arc, a run of The Authority, as well as some other, big name talents. So yeah, I wasn't really sure like what their deal even was in the first place. But yeah, that was pretty much my expectations. And I guess also I when it came out, there was like a lot of internet buzz, I felt like, too.
Gotcha.
But I didn't really have much of a consensus on what that internet buzz was, just that people were talking about it.
Oh, gotcha. I would say that, I guess my expectation was that it was going to be an interesting story. Maybe I kind of thought it was like I didn't know what The Authority was either. And so I wondered if I kind of thought like maybe this is like a Quarter Owls thing or something like that.
Right, yeah.
Or like, Superman's own version of that.
Yeah.
But, what you were saying about your opinion of Grant Morrison's work, I'd say for the most part I haven't really been a fan of Grant's work. So that didn't factor in at all to me wanting to read this, though. So,
okay, gotcha. I guess let's just talk about our general feelings about the book. What we like and dislike. And now, I think also here I'd like to provide a little bit of context that I only recently learned from. I checked out Grant Morrison's Substack, where they have they do like, I don't know, a weekly article, but back when this was coming out, they did annotations for Superman and the Authority. It's like a 6-article series. And I only read articles 2 and 3 because that one provided like the context for like, or the kind of historical context, whereas like the parts 4 through 6 are basically like breaking down like each little thing in the issue, which sounds really cool and interesting, but 1, I didn't have time, and 2, I was maybe a little worried that might influence my opinions. And part 1 also is a little bit, I read that as well, but it didn't seem as relevant to what we're talking about. It was a little bit more of Grant's personal history with writing superhero comics and like what they felt like superhero comics provides to its audiences and why they were getting kind of tired with writing those kinds of comics. And kind of like, like this is my ending, except for not this. Their ending was initially supposed to be Wonder Woman Earth 1 and then Green Lantern with Liam Sharp.
Grant's ending, like no longer doing superhero comics?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Retirement from the genre.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So then he came out with this.
Yeah. he got sucked back in by Dan Didio.
Ah, yes.
Yes. And the thing was that basically Dan Didio, which I hope I'm saying his last name right also.
That's how I always think about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. But
so maybe we're both saying it wrong.
Maybe, but I'm assuming that's how you say his name. But he'd been editor-in-chief at DC Comics for quite a while, and he was starting an initiative called 5G, or Generation 5.
Okay, that's what that meant.
Yeah. And basically it was going to be a massive reboot of the DC universe where heroes would they would age in real time, and they would have been introduced at the time that they were originally first published. So Superman becomes Superman in 1938. And Wonder Woman is the very first superhero, and all of this, Batman in the early 40s and so on. And they age and die, and new heroes take their place. The Justice League, gets replaced by the Teen Titans and
the Titan to League pipeline.
Yeah. And then you'd probably assume that there would be another team that would replace them, and so on. But yeah, basically that was not well liked by a lot of the creators that it was pitched to. In fact, it's said that Grant got a call from Scott Snyder asking if he would participate in an intervention to try and be like, which, yeah, I don't know. I mean, not to get too off track, but also I think we have the time for it. I kind of like the idea of I feel like it gives like a universe a unique feel to not just have it like constantly recycling characters.
Yeah,
I don't know, I think that's fun and interesting to me, and I would have been happy to see that, I think, just because it's like it's giving readers something fresh to work with, and also actually, like, you know, especially because New 52, the previous big new initiative before that, was essentially, let's actually take away these legacy characters that we've invested in and put back the original, like, Silver Age versions, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Like Flash, of course, being a major example, but also Green Lantern. So yeah, but so what this 5G plan would have done also, though, is that of course, Superman being Kryptonian, he would have been like 82 in this timeline, you know, in present day. And Dan Didio said that he felt like him and Supergirl would have started to become more authoritarian, and, you know, as they aged on and their loved ones have passed and stuff like that, and, you know, basically Superman would become the bad guy, and his son John would become, like, you know, the new Superman and go up against him. But Grant did not like this idea at all. And he basically convinced Dan Didio that it would work better to still have Superman be good, but to, you know, kind of start to basically feel comfortable with working within the realm of working with anti-heroes on like more like secretive missions and stuff like that, in order to like really help the world as a whole, rather than just like big battles with like science fiction villains and stuff like that. And so they went on with that story, but then the 5G plans got canceled very unceremoniously in like a single night.
Oof.
And Dan Didio was also nixed from DC employment. And so basically at first Grant thought that the story was just never going to happen. He wrote it, but they just weren't going to publish it and draw it. But he, for reasons that, you know, they don't know exactly why, if, you know, maybe it was just that, well, we already paid for this or what. But yeah, they decided to try and still make it work. And so they had, basically, part of it was that since they didn't feel like, you know, Superman couldn't realistically change what happens on Earth, because they were still dedicated to that, like, not fundamentally changing things model. They decided that, you know, the first 4 issues were going to be a team building series. And then, but then working with Philip Kennedy Johnson, the current Superman writer, it was going to be that the team would help topple authoritarian governments on other planets. And so that would, like, you know, go into the War World saga that Philip Kennedy Johnson writes after it.
Oh, really? Okay.
So yeah, that's, you know, and Grant kind of says that, like, Philip Kennedy Johnson picks up some of the plot threads from this series, you know, as best as he can.
Because he's not in the mind of Grant Morrison.
Well, I mean, that, and just, like, you know, it's just not perfect, you know?
Oh, okay.
This was already meant to be a different story.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I really appreciated that Substack article. I read the second one,
Mm-hmm.
and the quote that he said was like, "If we had the wit and the will and the self-sacrifice it takes to privilege our best selves and loftiest aspirations over our base instincts."
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about like how he wanted Superman not to become this authoritarian, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, oh man, that is so good, because that is, I mean, for me, I'm like, that in life, you know, we have to deal with that like all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like, to me, when I think about God, God's like, you know, our best selves, our loftiest aspirations, and encouraging us to like self-sacrifice.
Yeah, and I think that in some ways Grant Morrison would like kind of agree with you. They wrote a book called Super Gods that was it basically like was kind of the thesis was essentially that like superheroes, comic book superheroes, were essentially our new mythology. And so like, yeah, basically like that they represent like, you know, some of our like highest ideals for people. And I think that that's definitely true of Superman, where like, yeah, I definitely agree with Grant's take that it's like it totally ruins the character to be like evil, basically.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
to grow evil from good.
yeah,
Because and it just feels like wrong. And they mention like other like, you know, characters that are quote unquote evil Supermen from like the trying to remember.
I remember Irredeemable.
Yeah, Irredeemable, and they name another one.
Yeah.
I can't remember it, but yeah. Oh, right, The Boys.
Oh, yes, yes.
The Boys. So Irredeemable and The Boys, and there's others too. But but they mentioned that like those characters are specifically designed to critique a particular evil in the world, you know, and that Superman is Superman. And,
right. Yeah.
And also on top of that like, you know, it's kind of a little bit boring to, you know, basically say, well, power corrupts, so superpower must, you know, corrupt even more. It's like, okay, well, it's more fun to say that what if there was a guy that was super powerful and it didn't corrupt him.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Always sticking to that lofty aspiration.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely agree with him in that. To get into our actual likes and dislikes of this book, yeah, I think that it definitely struggles from the aforementioned production pipeline. It feels weird and confusing because like I was surprised to see, for instance, Superman showing up in 1963, but then jumping to the present. I'm like, oh, you're so old. Yeah. And it hit me today, actually, when I was thinking about it. I was like, Lois Lane shows up in this, and she's like...
she doesn't look like 40 or something.
No, I mean, like...
Or 82.
Yeah, she doesn't look 82, yeah. She looks maybe like she could be in her 30s or 40s. So it's like, that's a little young for you, Superman. And then... I felt like even though the whole series is meant to introduce you to these characters that make up this new team of the Authority, still, I felt like I didn't really get a grasp on them or where they came from. And yeah, it was kind of, that was like confusing too. And in some context was given in one of Grant's posts, because like they felt like the original authority, didn't really fit with what was going on. And also like there was other continuity blips, that made it difficult. So basically instead found other characters that kind of matched the power sets and personalities of the original authority. And so, but like, we get
Manchester Black.
Manchester Black, thank you. Yeah, Manchester Black, who was originally introduced in Whatever Happened to Truth, Justice, and the American Way.
Oh, interesting. That's funny. I didn't know that. And funny because last week we
did Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, actually I was kind of combining those two titles together. It's not Whatever Happened to, it's What's So Wrong with Truth, Justice, and the American Way. Oh,
gotcha.
Yeah.
And Manchester Black, who's a Brit, is going to show us what's wrong with
it. So created by Joe Kelly, and I'm blanking on the artist's name, unfortunately, basically made a parody, you could say, of the authority, called it the Elite.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Wow, okay. Yeah. I'm shocked I don't know who the authority is now.
To be fair to you, I also know very little about them. But I know that it's at least a blind spot for me, though. I've heard of the comic. I just am kind of, I wasn't interested in picking up a Warren Ellis book. But yeah, so basically, Manchester Black was the leader of the Elite. It was supposed to be like the authority, but that was not at the time in DC continuity yet. And then, basically you got the Enchantress, who's been in DC for a while.
And now we're talking about Superman and the Authority.
Yeah, Superman and the Authority, yeah. You've got... who else is on this team?
Midnighter, the Midnighter and Apollo.
Midnighter and Apollo, yeah, which they are from the Authority in the Wildstorm universe.
Oh, okay.
And then
Steel,
yep. And so she was took over from the Engineer role, which that is the Engineer was in the Superman movie.
Really? That was a character in the comics. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
But it also kind of, they were going to do an Authority movie in this new DCU, but then scrapped it. So.
Gotcha. So she was like the Engineer, like that was her title?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. And then something happened and she got a new name?
Well, no, sorry. The Engineer was on the original Authority, and then so Steel kind of took that role.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I'm tracking now.
Yeah.
Are we gonna consider what's her name? Light?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Light Ray.
Light Ray. Yep.
Yeah.
And so she's part of the Authority.
Yes, she is, and her bodyguard and romantic partner, OMAC.
Ah, yep. Yeah. I wasn't going to remember that
one. Yeah. So they, they are both part of it too, and have analogs to the original Authority as well.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah. Mostly, though, pretty much, other than Midnighter and Apollo, I think most of the people are not actually from the original Authority.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I feel like that was just important context. I feel like I also had a broader point, but I got a little lost.
I think it has something to do with how confusing this book was.
Yeah.
And I agree. As someone who, I was reading this and I was like, I think there's assumptions being made here that we know what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly the point I was trying to make, which was, it was just like, I'm supposed to know who all these people are while you're simultaneously spending a lot of page space introducing them to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's also like, so Superman talks about, it sounds like the world is like becoming chaotic or something like that. And I have no context for how that is happening.
Yeah.
So
I have no context for why he's losing his powers other than getting old.
Right. And so he's like getting this team together, and I'm like halfway through the book and I'm like, why are we doing this? I don't know.
Yeah, everything seems to be like kind of a secret, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, there's the, because like Superman's plan is to like get the Ultra Humanite to like attack him, like he's gonna be bait in order to stop him, and the Authority will also like be broken up into two teams and stuff, but it's all like, like nobody could know, including the reader.
Yes.
Until it's happening, and it's like, I don't know, I feel like in order to have a bait and switch like that works, you have to leave enough breadcrumbs that people can go back and be like, oh, I see, we're setting it up the whole time, I just didn't know.
Yeah.
But no, it just felt like suddenly like, oh, okay, we're doing this, I guess. Like, I mean, really, I think I would have just preferred it if the Ultra Humanite had just kidnapped him and then Superman got out of it, not that he was like, I was ready for you to do this.
Yeah, fair.
I did like, though, the Ultra Humanite coming in as the original Superman supervillain.
Oh, yeah. I was like, wait, is that true?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, the first superpowered foe.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Because because the Ultra Humanite was in the Justice League TV show.
Yep.
And that was like my introduction to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and originally he was just a mad scientist, kind of like Lex Luthor, before Lex Luthor was adapted into just a super rich guy. But at some point he puts his mind into a giant gorilla.
Oh, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
And I am the man of tomorrow. Is that what he says? Not man of tomorrow. Human of tomorrow. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, and yeah, so apparently in this, though, he has a bunch of bodies that he can hop in and out of, so he has a Solomon Grundy body, and then...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, with that, too, when he defeats... the Ultra Humanite, I liked the kind of brutalness of like, basically Superman like wrenches the head off of the body.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like bloody gore, and it's like, oh, but it's fine because Grundy can be regrown and he'll be in control of his own body.
Yeah.
And Ultra Humanite, his brain is just fully autonomous. We'll just hook it up to a jar.
Is that how he became the brain?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I did get the Ultra Humanite mixed up with oh gosh, I'm gonna forget. It's
Another gorilla.
Yeah, the gorilla and the brain in a jar. The characters.
Oh, darn.
They're in Doom Patrol.
Monsieur.
Yeah, they're French.
Yes, yeah.
You know, yeah. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Most recently, I think you could say, depicted in My Adventures with Superman.
Yes, yeah. I'm going to see if I can bring it up.
Yeah, and then the brain is a totally different character, too. So it's like, what?
Yeah.
Mala. That's one of them.
Yeah. Just
that's
the
gorilla.
The brain.
Oh, wait, what? Never mind.
Yeah.
The brain is...
But, yeah, Mojir Mala is the gorilla, and then the brain.
Oh, okay. Never mind. The brain is not a separate character.
Yeah.
The brain was once a scientist like any other, and then got into a horrible accident, and the gorilla was able to save his mind.
Mm-hmm.
His brain. Thus, the brain.
Wow, I don't know if he has a real name.
Oh, no, really?
And I'm just kind of looking through the Wikipedia page for him.
Ouch.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, here we go. Alter ego, unknown in pre-crisis and post-crisis, and then Ernst in the New 52 continuity.
Boo! They should have kept it as unknown.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, that was a sidetrack.
I will say, like, I think I like the premise a lot. The idea of like the world, the brink of destruction, and Superman having to rely on new blood. You know.
Yeah, and being, like realizing that what he did by forming the Justice League wasn't really effective to his actual mission. Because in remembering that this is supposed to be a Superman who is the Superman of the Golden Age,
Oh, okay.
Like,
oh, that's a good point. I did not know that.
Like, he really is about, helping the common man, and fighting like real world injustice. And so, like, the Justice League got so caught up in supervillains and crises and stuff like that it like kind of stopped the real problems of the world, so to speak.
Yeah.
But so I like the premise too. And earlier talking about like the 5G plans, I knew nothing about them really before, and a little sad that didn't happen now. Like, it's a cool idea, I think. But I think though, it was a very confused story though, I feel like overall. And even before in Grant's post also, they mention I don't know if I have it. I should have done it like you and highlighted a quote. But basically, they talk about how like Wonder Woman, Earth 1, and Green Lantern was their kind of swan song out of superhero comics, like just really like celebrating the things that they love about them, one that's like more terrestrial and one that's like spacefaring and stuff and sci-fi. But then he describes Superman and the Authority as like a like no, I can't get it right. I'll come back to me, but like basically like it's a like a clown horn that like kicks him out the door for the new generation. Like he really feels like it's a joke while also taking it serious at the same time.
That's like some people describe certain movie stars as like he was here just for the paycheck, but he's like the best one here.
Yeah, a little bit like that. But yeah, it was a good quote. Yeah, so is there anything else that you had for this?
So I really enjoyed the epilogue. Because but I think I enjoyed it for the wrong reasons. Okay. Because when I read it, he was talking about the wall. And I was like, oh my gosh, like the wall that we read from Justice League. I mean, not Justice League. X-Men and the Uncanny X-Men and the New Teen Titans. I was like, oh my gosh, just like that wall. And, but actually this is probably more in reference to the source wall of the Dark Knight's Metal world. You
know, I can't remember Uncanny X-Men New Teen Titans that well, but that might have been the same source wall.
Okay, yeah.
Do they...
No, wait, no, they did call it the source wall.
Yeah.
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 Yep, they did. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I was mean, like... Oh.
Yeah, not the same one, because technically that was an alternate universe where they could, you know...
Oh, gotcha.
But also kind of is the same one, but not.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, they did the thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's that
I'm easily entertained like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it sets up... It's funny to me, too, that Grant says that... they like Superman and the Authority was always meant to be like a 4-issue series that would then, you know, branch out of into something else, because it sets this cliffhanger where it's like Light Ray is, as in Darkseid is, you know.
Oh, okay.
And that's why Superman cared so much to get Light Ray on the team.
Right.
But yeah, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I just feel like you meant to have more issues. It does not feel like it's followed. It's going to be followed up properly. I don't know.
Oh, gotcha. Grant probably just didn't care to do anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. Because yeah, that was another thing about retiring, is that they like basically were like, I had essentially decided to retire. From superhero comics in like after I'd finished my last monthly run of comics in 2013. But I had all of these other obligations I was already signed up for.
Oh my gosh. That took him 8 years?
8 years.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, almost a decade of their life.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Wanted to say about the art?
Yeah, I think that the art's good. You know, here, let me go back to the credits real quick. Cause yeah, basically Mikel Janin does most of the pencils and inks, and it's it's very neat, and like polished looking. I think that it's a very nice style. Sometimes I feel like I don't know, Superman's a little bit too blushed up, if that makes sense.
Like he's got like a little red on his cheeks.
Yeah. But yeah, and then all of the I assume that the other artists that are on there, because that's for the pages that introduce the new characters, and so I assume that's supposed to mimic their original introduction art styles in some way.
Okay.
I did not go deep enough to verify that claim, but that's kind of what it seems like to me.
Gotcha.
And yeah, they did a good job though. There was nothing that I felt like was distressing. Actually, I will say, I didn't super like the steel artwork.
Nor the costume design, or
no, the artwork where it changes and then eventually she gets rolled into the normal art style.
I think nothing else reminded me the most of like the Ultimate Universe than that.
Yeah. Actually, I am glad too that I went back to this part, because it did remind me of another criticism I had that I'd forgotten, which is just that you can really feel Grant Morrison's age in some of this writing.
Really?
I feel like it, yeah, because it just seems kind of like because there's certain things that are like super Morrison-isms, like
gotcha.
A living Wi-Fi network intelligence. Like, sure, that's exactly their brand of weird. But then it's like, and it's producing real, actual internet trolls that look like trolls, and edgelords.
Yeah, that was cringe.
Yeah, it was just cringy.
I was like, I kept reading it. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I did I so what was it? They had this like actual Nazi guy.
Oh yeah, the Iron Cross.
Yeah. Oh. No. Okay. So before that, it said the embodiment of anti-scientific clickbait and logical contradictions. I was like, oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that was the first thing that was like showed up as like, yeah, this is bringing a little too much of the weird world in there.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay.
Yeah. It felt too on the nose in my mind. Yeah, it was just like, here's what I'm saying. You can't miss it. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I guess in some ways I do appreciate, like, I mean, this is 2021, so like, and probably writing in 2020, and maybe a little bit before that. But so like, there's some things that are really just about the kind of the internet echo chamber of like ideas and stuff like that, but is even more relevant with the advent of like large language models, colloquially known as AI. Yeah, because like that really does just like retread the same material over and over again, and is trained on whatever is already out there, not necessarily the best things to be the most correct sources.
Yeah.
And so like that's what Steele is kind of all like, oh, you've learned, only bad habits, basically.
Oh, yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
But see, and even so, to me, I was like, but I feel like that conflict was like just rushed through. I had no idea why this was happening.
Yeah, no, it did feel like totally just shoehorned in.
Yeah.
Just to introduce the character, I guess, and a problem that she could solve. But also, it didn't feel connected either.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been nice actually if all of the missions that they were working on separately could have like coalesced into what Superman was also working on. If there was a bigger threat that was the if that was Brainiac, like Brainiac gave consciousness to the Wi-Fi network, and also was doing the stuff that Apollo and Midnighter were taking down in the Middle East, the Arabian Peninsula, Yemen. That'd be a little bit more interesting to me, I think.
Agreed. I will say I also really enjoyed the artwork. And I was kind of thinking that, like, so tight lines, you know, it's like not like I like that a lot. And it's like very, very clean. And also, I think the colors are fantastic.
Yeah, Jordi Belair is a really good colorist, and I think even like award-winning colorist.
Okay.
Yeah, does a really good job in here.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a part of the colors that really stood out to you though?
I think probably like in the Fortress when people are talking.
Okay.
Yeah, or maybe it's like when it's close up with people's faces.
Yeah, just general design choices and palette.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I did not enjoy Steele's design though. I have no critiques, but other than I have no solutions. But
you
definitely
like it.
No.
Okay. Here I'm trying to. I remember it. Okay. I don't know. So what in particular is it? Like the nanotech kind of thing, or is it the like having the Superman emblem, or is it the giant hammer?
I think specifically like when she's fully kitted up, it's like I need to find a page where she's at actually. Oh, okay. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like I don't like her having a robotic face. You know?
Yeah.
And her suit just also is very unoriginal.
Yeah. It's kind of I can see it being a tough challenge because like, you know, she is the legacy hero of John Henry Irons, the original Steel, who you know, influenced by Superman, takes over after he dies in Death of Superman.
Okay.
Yeah, and and it's pretty much, you know, a metal suit with Superman emblem, you know, and a big hammer. And he also has a metal face. I don't think, you know, they didn't have like the kind of commonplace nanotechnology in fiction like that as a suit. You know, I think he just had like an iron mask. I don't know.
Okay.
So I think he could emote, but I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, it's one of those things where it's metal. We'll just say he can emote.
Yeah. I could be wrong about that though.
I saw older Iron Man like drawing, and I was like, that's metal. There's no way it could bend like that.
Yeah. Iron Man is kind of a funny case sometimes because it's like, they usually do like emoting where you can see his eyes, like pupil and all through the slits, you know, but also at the same time, they still get away with his helmet actually being a mask because like basically the technology is that it's a mask when he takes it off. And then when he puts it on, it hardens as a helmet.
Oh, gotcha. Oh.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. But yeah, I think that Steele's look in this is fine. It doesn't bother me. But yeah, it could be more original. It's nice that Superman's insignia is like more of the I don't know. It's not the original like Golden Age insignia, but it is the Kingdom Come Superman insignia, I think, with the black and red, and it's less of an S and almost more of a stripe with the pentagon shape. Yeah, and so that does differentiate it from Steele's S, but also it is kind of just like, nah. Yeah. But really all of them too, actually, when looking at this, you know, I'm looking at them all side by side in their little lineup.
Fair.
You know, it's like Midnighter just has a black suit.
I mean, I thought that was Batman the whole time. I mean, not the whole time. Sorry, let me clarify. When I saw it on the cover.
Yeah, and Midnighter was meant to be a Batman pastiche.
Okay,
and
gotcha.
Apollo was meant to be a Superman pastiche.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and then Manchester Black is interesting looking, I guess, but also kind of just a normal dude, like a normal punk dude.
Yeah, he's probably the Constantine equivalent.
Yeah.
Also a Brit, so okay.
Yeah, no, it's funny actually. If you read, I think it is in the part 3 of the articles, Grant Morrison does say that people have compared him to Constantine, and he's all like, he basically doesn't have a good defense. He's all like, well, technically, one of them rolls their cigarettes this way and the other this way, and this character is from this part of London, and this one's more from this part.
Nice.
Yeah.
All the important distinctions.
But yeah, and then actually, I don't really like Enchantress's costume either. Like, I'm sure that she's had worse costumes, but it's kind of giving like Peter Pan a little bit.
Yeah.
I
know. I kind of liked it for what it was. But...
Yeah, I could see that. I like Light Ray's costume though.
Yes, I think that was really good.
Yeah. Really just wish that we got to see more of her, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know what she does, like what her powers are. She's not Dr. Light.
No. Yeah, I think that's another thing, is that I don't know if she was created for this series or if she already existed. But yeah, born on another planet in another universe.
Right. Born on Mars. So she's a Martian.
A human Martian.
A human. Oh, yeah, that's right.
From an alternate universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's also like a YouTuber influencer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, of all the little things that people could do, like to make it like more modern, like someone being a social media influencer is not the most cringe.
Yeah, no, and I think it depends on what character you do it with too.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, having somebody that I've never heard of doing it, and also the fact that she's incredibly depressed makes a lot of sense.
Oh, that's
yeah. Also, I felt like we get her like birth happening, and I'm just like, I kind of want to know more, because it's all like her mom is like in labor and like is like to the father like, I know you've been having an affair, and he's all like, oh, it's going to be, this child's going to repair our relationship, which, but then also, basically she's all like, this child isn't even yours, but like, kind of the artwork is implying that, some sort of alien or celestial force, is what where the baby came from. And I'm like, I also want to know more about that, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like you only gave me a nibble what that story is supposed to be. Which again, in the epilogue, they have the whole like Light Ray is on the source wall and stuff. So maybe they did plan to follow it up more. Just were, but
okay.
I don't know. I just felt like I could have been given more like, where do your powers come from?
Who are you, strange woman?
Yeah. But we just didn't get a lot of her as a character. I thought it was kind of cool that had the original Knights of the Round Table. That was a funny detail that felt very like old style pulpy, like, you know, what the early JSA might, you know, like
yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what I've got for likes and dislikes in the art. To get to our discussion of our theme, Superman is our theme. How is this portrayal of Superman compared, or how would you describe this portrayal of Superman compared to other popular media depictions?
I think he's kind of like good, right? Like keeps that like I'm here to protect the world kind of quality, but then also has a little bit more of like I am not as, I mean, I guess I'm not as naive as I used to be, you know, like, I'm not like an ideologue, and so I'm gonna do whatever it takes to protect the world, you know, as opposed to other depictions which might just be more of the we're gonna save the world, and like I don't know. I think the naivete comes from more of that, like, I know I can't do it, you know, or that lack of naivete.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, I feel like for me, you know, there is like discussed before, you know, there's like kind of a hearkening back to the roots of like his golden age original interpretation, but also there's none of that like being kind of like above other people, you know. I think that I feel like there's a struggle to like, you know, both make Superman like an ideal to strive for, and also like a human character, you know, that isn't infallible. And I feel like this Superman, you know, I mean, he starts off the book you know, like saying that he's failed his mission, and that he needs to try a new tactic. So I do feel like, you know, this Superman feels like he's not as self-assured. He is a little bit, you know, in terms of like, you know, interacting with Manchester Black and stuff like that, you know. He's like he has to build some of that like wall of confidence to you know, combat Manchester Black's innate snide criticism.
I think in general, just like wiser.
I could see that, like, having more wisdom. Just because I'm thinking about, like, it's interesting too to think about how we talked about how he's meant to be like, you know, the Superman in a lot of ways, but like I'm thinking about like the movie, not the recent movie, but the Christopher Reeves movie, and it's like you'll believe that a man can fly, and it's like, oh well, this man actually can't fly, really. not far distances, you know. He's so much less powered also, and that's interesting to me. But yeah.
Less interesting to you?
No, less powered, and that is interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, gotcha. and in how it differs from other portrayals, and how it, you know, that just like, what does it really mean to be Superman? You know?
Okay.
But at the same time, again, hearkening back to that original Golden Age appearance, he was a lot less powerful. He was faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, and could leap tall buildings in a single bound.
Yeah. I want to double what you said before of like not seeing himself as above others, because I recently read the original like 6 issues, and I was like,
original 6 issues of what?
Of Superman.
Oh, okay, like the first 6 issues of Action Comics.
Yeah, Action Comics. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And yeah, definitely that like arrogance about him was definitely there. And so, but even in that, to me, I'm like, that's not most of the depictions of Superman either.
No.
So
yeah, because I think generally, the goal of writing Superman is to like show somebody who is both the best of humanity and also could feasibly be somebody, a member of humanity.
Yeah.
At the same time.
That makes me think like, because Grant Morrison in his Substack said that something along the lines of like, we know that that's not going to happen anytime soon, like being all these good qualities in humanity. And I, maybe this is stuff I'm thinking about, but I'm like, why can't we just choose to do? You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, I agree that that part of it seemed, while maybe realistic in a sense, also a little pessimistic at the same time.
Yeah.
All it takes really is people making a choice towards action, and being good and kind,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard. So I also get where some of that pessimism comes from too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's move on to our next question. What kind of Superman fan would enjoy this comic? And I think that's a tough question for me because it's not so firmly focused on Superman.
Yeah.
And it's also like, I mean, I guess I think that someone who's maybe a little bit more enmeshed in the Superman comics that were coming out at the time already, possibly, and also possibly fans of the Authority, but that's not really the question that we're answering.
Yeah. I kind of think that it would be any of them. Like, yeah, I think this book is just good for all around. I think in my mind, I feel like you would only have issue with Superman being a little bit more. I mean, I feel like more from like a ideology, like from an ideological perspective, of like, I don't know how I feel about Superman working with criminals or, anti-heroes.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. See, the thing is that I don't think that this story really landed for me. And so in that way, it's hard to say, I'd recommend it to this kind of Superman fan because it just didn't really work.
I see.
Like, it's hard for me to recommend. It's just kind of like, I guess, like, the things that I like about it is that there's an interesting idea buried in there.
Gotcha.
And also that and with that it has some fun moments, and I also find the kind of historical element as a kind of document of what could have happened with DC Comics, as long as you have that context.
What do you mean?
Just with like the 5G plans and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah. I find it interesting.
Oh, I see what you mean. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say I like this, despite being confused most of the time.
Okay.
I think it was mainly because there are specific things that I could pick out that I was like, oh yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And And I think going back to what I was saying before about like Superman working with anti-heroes, I think the thing about that is like Superman is like, immovable, and he kind of gets them, or I don't know if you would say inspires them, but like, he influences them to do good things.
Yeah, definitely. He has to kind of talk about like, hey, there's this no kill rule.
Yeah.
And it's pretty important to me. And pretty much, a lot of them just have like, even though they might be anti-heroes, they have a really like high regard for Superman and what he does. And are willing to play along because, ultimately he respects them too, I think. It's not just like a for money job, and it's not like, like it's not because they have bombs placed in their heads a la Suicide Squad. It's like, you're a human being, and I really think that you can help me with this problem.
I mean, man, if you're into, well, I mean, I don't know if you'd be able to see it as well with everything else in this book, but like if you're into stories where it's like someone sees something in you and he's like inspiring that out of you, like that could be pretty interesting to read.
I think that there's just there's some really good stuff, like I said, buried in this story a little bit. And that is one of them, I think, is and then I think it's also, there's the frustration that with that it's only 4 issues, and so we don't really get the room to breathe for that. Like, and like, I don't know, the flip coin of that a little bit is that like everybody is kind of automatically on board because like they respect Superman, other than kind of Manchester Black. But like it would be kind of nice if we got a little bit more pushback from some people, and then like basically is like, okay, you've won me over. I respect and appreciate you now. And maybe that just is Manchester Black's role, but it feels like it still just feels too easy to me.
I think in particular Enchantress, because she was just like, yep, all right, thanks for saving me, deuces. And Superman's, wait, I need you. She's like, Superman needs me? Okay, I'm interested. That's why I like, I don't know if I wrote it this way. I think I did. But like I describe Superman in the summary as like the greatest protector, because I feel like that's kind of what he is, like the Earth's greatest protector. And with that, the notoriety and the automatic respect.
I would agree with that. But also, actually, sorry, I agree with that. Okay, was there, I think that was the last of our questions on our theme. But before we end our episode, what would you hope to see if these stories continued?
I would want to know more about what was going on in the world that Superman was so like, I can't do this, like I need you guys. More about Superman's son, because there were a few things where they mentioned like he lied about his situation, and I was like, what do you mean? What did he say?
His son lied?
No,
Or
Superman
did.
Superman lied about his life or something like that.
Well, there was one big point that they kept making but kept hidden still, was a secret about kryptonite that only Superman and I think Supergirl knew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like, what's that?
Yeah, what is that?
so yeah, I think seeing more of that, understanding what is exactly the world that we are in right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that I agree with you on that. I'd like to see more light ray developed more. Yeah, and I think just like, I don't know, yeah, getting a better sense of like who the Authority is as a team and why they exist. And like, is this the case of like DC now owns the Authority, but they are just going to create a brand new Authority that like, because like, I mean, yeah, Midnighter and Apollo, as I said, was from the original Authority. So do they remember being on that Authority? Are they like, how does the like the universe transplant part of it kind of come into play?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, how much of the original Authority is considered canon, even though I know nothing about the original Authority?
Right.
So I'd like to know some of that too. But yeah, generally I think I just want a story that's a little bit more coherent.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So, and that's all the time that we have. This has been our review of Superman and the Authority, written by Grant Morrison. If you like this episode, be sure to follow us on Twitter at TheComicPanel1 and listen to more of us on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. Our title is The Comic Panel Podcast. You can also listen to us on KSUAradio.com or 91.5 FM in Fairbanks, Alaska. Be sure to tune in 2 weeks from now for our next Superman book. I'm Cody.
I'm Talon.
And thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.